Alright, last episode we made it so that the player was able to die and we could reset the game. So let's spice up the death a little bit by adding like a sound effect and a blood particle for when they die. And we'll also probably look into getting a sprint for our player just because they're at the same speed as a zombie. So I feel like that'd be quite a nice little mechanic to add for them. So as per usual, this is what we'll have by the end of the video and let's get straight into it. Alright, so to make a death sound effect, it's going to be pretty straightforward. It's basically similar to how we did all of our gun sound effects, which we did in a previous episode. So I've made like a little custom death sound effect. It's really bad, but yeah, I've made one here using Audacity, using some things that I found on YouTube. So I'm going to drag this sound effect, which I created earlier, into my project, and I'm not going to use this other one that I have just because reasons. I kind of like this one because it's goofy as fuck. And then I'm going to go into my player controller script. I'm going to create two new variables, one for the audio source and one audio clip for the death sound effect. Then in my player takes damage method, I'm going to get the reference to my audio source and then play one shot of death sound effect in my if health is less than or equal to 0. This should just immediately work, so when you press play and then you test it out, you should see that this sound effect will play. Yeah, as you can see, that sound effect is really bad.
No, oh my god, young man, kill yourself!
But I really don't care, it's goofy as hell, so I'm keeping it. So next, let's just add a quick blood particle, you know, just another little nice thing to have. To get the blood particle working, we're going to go into our player controller script, declare a new variable of blood visual effect. Then in our player take damage script again, we're going to do blood VFX.play. And I'm actually going to do this just underneath the health minus minus, so that every time the player gets hit, the blood effect will play. Now I'm just going to put the blood particle effect into my player prefab and just make sure that it's working alright. And I'm also going to make sure that it's not set to play on awake so that you don't just immediately see a blood particle being played. Alright, so that should just work. I've already tested it. You can test it yourself if you want to, and then come back to the video, but for me, it works. So now I'm going to look into creating some kind of sprint mechanic for the player so that they can sprint around. We won't have this be like an endless sprint. We'll give them a stamina bar, which isn't crazy big, because in the future we could maybe give them upgrades as well for like increasing stamina and stuff like that. Okay, so for adding sprint speed, we're going to have a variety of new variables which we're going to be adding. We're going to have sprint speed, stamina, max stamina, stamina drain rate, stamina regen rate, regen cooldown timer, and stamina regen delay. Then underneath our private references, we'll create a new ball for is sprinting. I'm going to create a new private method called handle sprint. In here we're going to do if input.getKey, key code shift, and stamina is greater than 0. Then we'll set is sprinting to true. We'll take away our stamina drain rate multiplied by time.delta time from our stamina. Then if stamina is less than 0, stamina will just equal 0 so that it doesn't go below. We'll also reset the cooldown timer every time we sprint by saying regen cooldown timer equals our stamina regen delay. Now we'll do a little else at the end of this, and we'll set is sprinting to false, and inside we'll do another if statement where we're going to count down the regen delay if we're not sprinting. So it'll be if regen cooldown timer is greater than 0, the regen cooldown timer minus equals time.delta time. Then do an else off of this, and inside we'll only regen after the cooldown, so we'll say stamina plus equals stamina regen rate multiplied by time.delta time, and if stamina is greater than max stamina, the stamina will equal our max stamina again so that we don't go above our maximum stamina. Next, in our player movement method, we'll check if the player is sprinting, and depending on that, we'll either apply the sprint speed or the normal speed to our movement. It's all done in a single line using this ternary operator for a cleaner piece of code. Now to finish up, just call the handle sprint method in your update function, and we should have a functional sprint, and you should have something that's like this. Okay, so we're going to stop here today. I know I did say we are going to add a dash roll, but don't complain. Don't complain! Don't complain! I kind of decided against adding it in because, well, it's not in Dead Up's Arcade. If it is something you want to add, that's something you can look into yourself. You can expand upon it however you want. For the next episode, I'm actually going to look at probably starting on like a main menu and like just a loading system via that. As then technically, we have a full game. But yeah, if you've been enjoying this series, be sure to drop it a like and maybe subscribe. That'd be real nice of you. But yeah, we're done for today, so bye-bye.